Okay, I'm gonna
All
transition.
right, here we go.
Outstanding, outstanding. I sense that Cal is still stinging from that army comeback. He's like, oh, like, we were gonna get there, and it's why he's got army on the brain, right?
It burns.
I'll
All
tell you
right.
though, what a great opportunity to hear a little bit more from about a player who was also military opening up about their life. And what was so cool was as that story is going, I'm seeing donations being put into World
Mm-hmm.
Wounded Warrior Project. You guys are fantastic.
Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of our Verizon Branches Challenge, featuring in the green here the United States Air Force against in the red the United States Navy. Zath, talk to me about the Air Force lineup.
I was afraid you were going to do that to me.
Damn right I am.
So
Damn right I am.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so we've got ourselves a Monahan and a Hatsuharu, which is interesting. So that's those of you we were talking about the Shinonome last game. Hatsuharu's got longer range torpedoes and not as strong in the gun department.
Right.
We've got Leander Graf Spee Trento and a Nuremberg, so the proper Nuremberg this time, and a Warspite with Berninator leading the team, looks like.
Opposing them, fighting for the honor of the United States Navy, who should properly win this game. Yes, I went there. We have Semper Sushi and a T-61. Semper, for those of you in the United States Coast Guard, he is definitely a coastie. We were chatting about that in the training room beforehand. Navy's gone double T-61. A nice cruiser spread, sticking with double Graf Spee, opting to flank that with a Leander and a Makarov, and backing things up here, Zath with old, reliable USS New Mexico.
You know, I was going to comment on that. Why not bring in Arizona? I mean, to me, it makes more sense, right?
I would agree. I feel like maybe that's just a miss, right? Like, I mean, New Mexico, of course, would bring more AA to the match, but that's not a concern here. So why not take an Arizona with the more accurate guns?
And it's naked?
Indeed. But there we are. Air Force opting for a AC split, much like we saw the Marine Corps going for earlier. Navy kind of playing a little slower game here. They're very slow to get out of their spawn at the moment. Only one of their destroyers is kind of up near the cap. Zoran here kind of lagging, moving about half speed on the G line, playing close to his cruisers.
Yeah, this is interesting. So it looks like Navy they're focusing AB, and we mentioned last game about how that island in the middle of AB cuts off support from either side. We'll have to see how this plays out for him.
Yeah, I agree. It's easier to transition from B to C. If you're going to pick two to focus, B to C is the easier ones tactically to move in on and grab. So, I don't know. We'll see. 2.5 minutes gone here, and Air Force is going to move out to a 2-cap lead here momentarily. That's going to let them start putting some early pressure on Navy to respond.
That's right. But Navy brought two TET-61s, so they can get in the cap when they want and hold it down with that magic hydro button.
Indeed. Now, you talked about the Hatsuharu pick earlier, Zath. I really like Hatsu at tier 6, right? Like, she's a very different offering from Shinonome, right? But there's a lot to like about most of these mid-tier Japanese destroyers in a format where you don't have to worry about planes buzzing over your head.
True. Well, I have not so fond memories of grinding through the Hatsuharu several times, and I think my biggest problem was I was always trying to line up torpedo hits at maximum range at 10 kilometer, and you're really better off lining those things up at 6 to 7 kilometer. Then you get the hits.
Indeed, work into mid-range rather than try for long-range everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Semper's T-61 finally onto the top end of A here, being kind of aggressive. The entire Navy team kind of migrating towards the A cap. Nobody really interested in going to B. Air Force is going to be on B in moments with the majority of their fleet. I gotta say,
I'm really not sure what the Navy's trying to pull off here.
I don't know either, Zath. I gotta say, right now, Air Force looks like they came into this game with a plan, and they are just executing well for the moment. Let's see what this New Mexico can see. He does have a couple of targets he could be shooting at. No shells out yet.
Just took a hit from the Warspite, it looked like.
I'm surprised this Graf Spee and smoke is not really firing. Putting his torpedoes into the B cap, but not really shooting at the targets he could see. Navy does bag
Those are
A.
8 kilometer.
Go ahead.
Those are 8 kilometer torpedoes, so they really don't have a chance of hitting the Hatsuharu, but of course, CP doesn't know that the Hatsuharu is on the backside of the B cap. So.
Right. Yeah, he's not sure where he is, so he's just dumping those in there speculatively, just guessing, right?
Mm-hmm. Luck Chuck's work. Oh, Verizon Challenge 23 is going to take a tour, possibly go down.
He does take
He's
one
on
in the
double
bow.
fires.
Ooh.
He's going out.
Navy looking like they're going to lose a ship here. Down a cap. Yeah, they're going to go. He's going out. Bow fire continues to burn. There he goes.
There we go.
Down a ship, down a cap. Things are looking very good for Air Force here as we go 5 minutes with the match 1/3 over. Zath, I gotta say, if Navy loses this game, they'll never hear the end of it.
Nope. Take a look at the positioning though of the on the Air Force side here. We've got the Leander and the Graf Spee just off that island that we've seen so much in clan battles and other competitive events at Echo 6. That's a very important island to be in because you're close to the action to support, but you're behind the island for safety from being spotted.
Now, both Navy destroyers have teamed up to get into the B cap. Hopefully one of them has their Hydro on. Looks like they might be pushing up to try and bum rush this Hatsuharu a bit. Hatsu does take a decent hit there. But Semper's backing off. Zoran is actually going to stumble into a torpedo unless he puts on some speed. It's too late. He's going to take one of midships.
Yep. He was slowing down, and that cost him his ship.
The irony of seeing a T-61 torpedoed. One of the few destroyers at this tier with Hydro.
Especially since he's next to another TED-61.
Indeed.
So that's an error with rotating hydros.
Yeah.
We talk about that often in competitive play.
Indeed. One of the things we can't see in the spectator mode is how the torpedoes are spotted or if they're spotted. When you're looking at everything, the game will show you those torpedoes, but you have no idea when the enemy or when the team you're looking at has spotted them or not.
Right. We also cannot tell if hydroacoustic search is being used. We can tell if radar is being used.
Correct. Correct. We see visuals for radar, but not for hydro. Coming up on the halfway mark of the match, Air Force with a commanding lead here. I gotta say, Zath, I'm really surprised Semper will not go back into the B cap. Like Navy's got to make a play. Like this kind of derping around in the backfield ain't gonna cut it.
Yep, this is the point where it's time to turn around and become aggressive and pick a place and just all push, because at this point it's their game to lose anyways. Might as well try to make something happen.
Yeah, like if you can push up and force a mistake, then you might get something out of it. But if you don't do that without that opportunity, without generating that mistake, I don't think Air Force is going to just make one for you.
Yep, Semper Sushi now forcing to go defensive with that smoke. Unfortunately, that's going to let Air Force know exactly where he is. More importantly, though, they can just turn around.
I mean, at this point, honestly, Air Force could even surrender the B cap. They could give up the B cap and then probably still have a commanding lead at this point, coming up on 500 points.
That's exactly what I mean. They could all hit the M key, click on A10 corner, and just go make a coffee.
Yeah, it's looking that way. No Factor Spee has an opportunity to get into the B cap and stop the bleeding, but he's going to have to tweak his rudder if he wants to do it. He's kind of just not really in a hurry. In fact, on his current line, he's avoiding the cap entirely.
Very question marks.
Yeah, I
have so many questions.
Yeah, what's the meme? Confused screaming. Yes, there's a lot of confused screaming, I think, from the audience. There certainly would be in my shoes if I were watching this game. I'd be like, why are you not trying to win?
Remember, guys, these aren't players that are part of like one specific clan that work together and know each other all that
Very
time.
true.
These are players that have that military background, coming and playing for charity. So this is a very different experience than what you have been watching so many hours earlier.
Indeed. Semper Sushi does finally get onto B, but all it does at the moment is lengthen the inevitable. That stretches the cap timer out to a little less than 2 minutes to an Air Force victory. It's going to take something a lot bigger than that to make a difference in this match.
Yep. Doc Supreme trying to get out of that area. He had a good opportunity to go into C-Cap and at least stop the point gain. which would have been huge because
Yeah.
then Air Force would be getting 0 points. But instead, he turned back into mid, and he's probably going to go down pretty soon.
Well, he's not careful. He's going to wander into one of these torpedoes. That's exactly what's about to happen.
One on the face.
And
he's going to take
one on mid. And there we go.
There he goes.
That's going to be all she wrote, guys, with 20 seconds. Oh, look at that. He bags the Warspite. Really? Okay. I missed that. Didn't even see the torpedoes. Well, Navy does get a kill. But Air Force is back onto the A-cap as Semper's trying to cut across to C. But he's under fire from a Leander. That's going to end... Yeah, that's going to end badly.
Yep. And he needed to survive to get onto C at that point.
Yep. Timer ticking away here. As Air Force is going to claim this game and move on to face Army in the big final showdown tomorrow. And there it is.
Landlubbers unite.
Well, I mean, calling the Air Force landlubbers is probably not correct. But I mean, I get where you're going with the comment, right? Solid win from Air Force. They're advancing.